What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today, it is just me at the round table, unfortunately, predicting tonight the Golden Globe Awards. I decided to go see a later show at like 8:30 of sentimental value, and so I knew all my friends were going to be in bed by now. We're going to be asleep, but I still want to come on here. I still want to do a Golden Globes predictions for you guys. So, by the way, Sentimental Value, really great movie, and I'm glad I saw it. I see these type of movies for you guys, so I'll delve more into that movie when I'm doing my predictions tonight. But I'm going to run through all the categories, some quicker than others. I'm going to run through all the categories of what I'm predicting at the Golden Globe Awards in each particular category, and then tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock is when our live stream is going to start to react to the Golden Globe Awards. So the Golden Globe Awards announcement is at 8:15 a.m. tomorrow morning if you're on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, I think it's on 5:15 a.m. But we are going to be probably starting that live stream around 7:50, something like that. So it gives me time to be able to film these quick prediction videos for you guys and then go right on to bed because I got to wake up buck ass early in the morning. And this is for you guys. That's why I'm waking up this early. But I'm going to start with basically the least caring category that I could think of. The one, all the way up. I'm not really going to do cinematic and box office achievement. I don't care about that category. It's stupid. Every other category I'll do, but I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do that. That's a stupid category. Don't even know why it exists. But all the other categories I'm going to be tackling tonight. So, original song. We'll start off with that. We'll work our way up into the best picture categories. So, for original song, I have as the nominees I Lied to You. I have that at number 1. I think the Globes are really going to love I Lied to You. I think that this is one of the standout scenes that you see in Sinners. And I think that it's got more of like an emotional core to it than some of these other songs. I think when it comes to the Oscars, I think they're going to lean more towards Golden there. But I think in terms of Golden Globes, I think I Lied to You from Sinners is going to be their top dog. And speaking of Golden, I have Golden at number 2. I think Golden is just undeniable this year. It's such a popular song. This is such a pop sensation. It took the world by storm. And I just think there's absolutely no denying the impact that K-pop Demon Hunters has made on the film industry, on the music industry, on everything. So I think because of that, Golden is locked in at number 2 for best original song. Then I have Girl with a Bubble in there from Wicked for Good. And I think that this one is basically locked in. I don't think the other Wicked song is going to be able to make it in at basically any of the award shows. A missed Critics' Choice, and that was a big one to miss. And so I don't think that one is as safe as what some Wicked fans might have been hoping for. But Girl in the Bubble is Ariana Grande. I think that one's still popular, no pun intended, enough to actually warrant getting in. I don't think it's going to win, but I think it's going to get in for sure. And then I have in my number 4 slot, Clothed by the Sun from Testament of Ann Lee. This is a really great song, a really emotional song of the movie, probably the most emotional song of the movie. So this is something I see getting just song in basically every award show. I think it's going to get in. I think it's safe to get in. I feel confident in it. Then I have Train Dreams from the movie Train Dreams. Very good song. Netflix is extremely good at getting songs nominated, because if you look at past years, like they literally had "When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings," which was from the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. They literally had that song nominated for Best Original Song at the Oscars. And I was sitting there that Oscars morning saying, what? Very deserved, by the way. I love that song. But Netflix is extremely good at getting their songs nominated. So I think they're going to get 2 of their songs nominated, with Golden and with Train Dreams. Then in my last slot, I was trying to think about what songs could really fit this kind of fit the new Globes. Like, what would the new Globes go for? Because they still love big stars, they still love big names, but they also lean more international now. They have a really interesting new voting body. So Dream as One from Avatar: Fire and Ash is one that I am considering. And the Globe members have seen Avatar: Fire and Ash, so they actually have like a reason to vote for it. But I also just don't see it doing super well at the Globes, just because it's still so recent. I think by the time the Oscar nominations come out, that will be enough time for everyone to have seen it, and I think it'll do really well at the Oscar not for Oscars and such. But when it comes to these early ones, I don't know if I see it doing super well. But I have that as a possibility here. I have No Place Like Home from Wicked for Good, On the Outside Looking In, Drive from F1, which was the Ed Sheeran song. I have that as a possibility to get into Best Original Song, and I very much so think that, that could happen. Zoo from Zootopia 2, it's from Shakira, so I could see that maybe sneaking in there to Best Original Song. Last Time I Seen the Sun, I think if they really love Sinners, I think they could get 2 Sinner songs in here. So that's one that's on the Outside Looking In. But at the end of the day, I think I am going to stick with Dream as One from Avatar: Fire and Ash. It's Miley Cyrus. If I remember correctly, I believe it was the Globes that nominated the Miley Cyrus song from The Last Showgirl. So they really seem to like Miley Cyrus and these bigger pop stars that sing these songs. If you've noticed, the track record with the Globes is they like big stars singing, and that's what they nominate. So I'm going to lean Miley Cyrus because of that, because I feel like people will see the name and they'll vote for it alone. They don't even have to see the movie. They'll just vote for that. They'll just vote for Dream as One purely based on the Miley Cyrus name. So that's just kind of what I'm going to go with for Best Original Song. Now on to Best Original Score. And in Best Original Score, I have at number 1, Ludwig Göransson. Now, he may not win the Globe, but right now he's the safest bet. That's why I have him at number 1. I just think you can't deny Ludwig Göransson. He is a powerhouse when it comes to score nominations. He gets in almost every single time now, and he just delivered one of his finest scores to date with Sinners. The score in this movie is immaculate, and so I just think that this is very much an opportunity to just basically nominate him again and maybe even have him win again. So have him get in there. I have Johnny Greenwood for One Battle After Another, who I personally would probably give it to if it was up to me, because he's overdue. And I think he just delivered one of the best scores of the year. It was an absolute chaotic, fantastic, frantic kind of score. And I think he definitely is getting in. And I think he has that really good shot of winning this. And that's why he is my number 2 slot here. And I would be very, very pleased and very happy if he is able to pull off the victory come January 8th, I think, is when the Globes are. So have Johnny Greenwood. My next slot, you cannot deny Alexander Desplat. He is like the new John Williams. If he makes a score, he gets nominated. I looked it up, and he has like 13 nominations for Best Original Score at the Oscars, and he's won like 2 of them. And so we cannot deny Alexander Desplat. And his Frankenstein score is beautiful. I've seen Frankenstein twice, and each time the score really impacted me. And I thought the score was just elegant and just added layers to and depth to this film in such strong ways. So I'm really confident in those top 3. Then it just starts to kind of get a little bit more in this bottom 3 of like, you could switch them out or maybe even replace them with other names, because people are throwing around all sorts of different names for Best Original Score. But here I have Jerskin Frendrix for Begonia getting in. I think that's a very Globesy kind of pick. And in my personal opinion, I would definitely nominate this, because this is my second favorite score of the year, right behind Seurat. I think Begonia's score is just magnificent. It's very operatic. It's very it's kind of in your face, but like in the best way possible, and without feeling too overbearing. Very amazing score, and I think even better than the Poor Thing score. So I personally would nominate it, and because I have Begonia in comedy/musical, I do think they're going to love the movie enough to give it a Best Score nomination. Now, my next one I have is Hamnet from Max Richter. Now, I know this is a interesting pick here, because they did use On the Nature of Daylight, which is a Max Richter piece of music. Like, he invented that piece of composition, but they used that at the end of the film. And so it's not really an original score, at least in the third act. But here, I still am going to go with it, because 90% of the movie is still all like original scores from what I know from doing research. From what I know, it's still all basically an original score. It's just that third act where he uses his own piece of music that he did, that he actually decides to go not original in that third act. But everything else is, so that's why I have it solidly in there for original score. And I just think they're going to be over the moon for Hamnet. I think Hamnet's going to be getting a lot of nominations, rightfully so. And I think it's going to get a nomination here as well. So next up in the 6th slot, see, and this is where it gets tough, because there's so many names that you could throw around here. There is Hans Zimmer, of course, for F1, who is iconic. He is one of the greatest composers of all time. And his F1 score is very good. It's a very good score. So I could see a world where maybe, Hans Zimmer, he got in for the Critics' Choice Award. Maybe he can get in here for Globes. Then, of course, there's also Daniel Lopatin, which I still have to see Marty Supreme. I have not gotten to see this film yet. But from what I hear, the score is very good. It's a very safety kind of score. So I'm really interested in to see how that score is when I see the film. The Testament of Ann Lee, I have seen it. That score is very good. It's not as operatic as the Brutalist score by any means, but it's still another wonderful score from Daniel Blumberg, just a bit more subtle, but very beautiful and hypnotic. And then you have Jay Kelly, Nicholas Bertel. He's a very popular composer. He could be a 6th slot. nominee if they really go all out for Jay Kelly. But I'm gonna throw in a sixth slot here that not a lot of people are mentioning, but I feel like the Globes are one of the most unpredictable awards, especially now. Because now that they have a new voting body, they really throw stuff at you for a loop that you're just not expecting. So, especially in terms of wins. So, with this, I'm going to go with my favorite score of the year, which is actually Surratt from David Kingding Ray. I think that they're going to go very international because, again, the voting body is extremely international. And I think Surratt is going to get a Best Original Score nomination, rightfully so. Like I said, it's the score of the year, in my opinion. But this movie just, I feel like it's really picking up steam as of late because it got in at the Critics' Choice Awards for Best International Feature. It got in at the Independent Spirit Awards for Best International Feature. So, and it even got a Best Sound nomination at the Critics' Choice Awards. The Oscars are not going to be that cool to nominate for Best Sound. Are you kidding me? They should. It's great sound work, but they're not going to. So I just think it's been picking up this momentum, and I think we're really underestimating what Surratt is about to do come the rest of awards season. And so considering that, I really think the score has a very strong chance of getting nominated here. Even though I have it in the sixth slot, I'm going to say Surratt gets the sixth slot for Best Original Score. So rounding out the six that I have for Best Original Score, I have Sinners from Ludwig Göransson. I have One Battle After Another from Johnny Greenwood. I've got Frankenstein from Alexander Desplat, Begonia, Tristan Fredericks, Hamnet, Max Richter, and then Surratt, David Kingding Ray. So that is my six for Best Original Score. Moving on to, I lost the tab here. Okay. Moving on to Best Picture Animated. So we are now into the animated feature category. And this is also one that's kind of predictable, but also like the Globes have thrown some weird animated movies out there. What was that one called that was like My Friend something? I forget what it was called, but it was like the weirdest pick. Like no one's ever even heard of the film, and they threw it into Best Animated Feature. So sometimes they will throw some really out there, just crazy picks here for Best Animated Feature. But I'm going to kind of play it safe with my six because I just don't know what else they would go with. Of course, at number one, I have K-Pop Demon Hunters. Very popular. I think, that's going to just take the world by storm. And then I have Little Amelie at number two because, again, they're more international. I could see them really liking Little Amelie. I could see that even potentially upsetting for a win, maybe even, just because of how international they've become now. Alongside Arco. I could see Arco doing the same thing, kind of maybe upsetting and taking it here, if anything. Remember that time when Missing Link won the fucking Golden Globe? That was weird. But then I have Zootopia 2 at number 4. I think it's a very strong threat to win the Oscar for animated feature. But here at the Globes, I think it's going to be K-Pop Demon Hunters that wins the Globe. And then I have Elio at number 5. I think Elio is very strong. I think it's starting to have momentum. And I think that we're going to see at the end of the day, when you just look at the rest of the films on this list, I just don't know if I see Elio missing here. And I mean, unless they replace Elio with one of those weird animated films I talked about. But my number 6 slot here, I have In Your Dreams from Netflix. And I know that sounds like a safe bet because it got into the Critics' Choice Awards. So it's like, obviously it's going to be In Your Dreams. But I don't know. Part of me feels like that's just going to be the 6 that they go with. But then another part of me is thinking, what if they do like Lost in Starlight, which was an anime film that was on Netflix. They could, and it's got like a 3.9 on Ross. It's like very critically acclaimed. I can see him doing that. I can see him doing like the Demon Slayer movie or something, you know, just or like Scarlet or something like that, doing some weird out there, what the hell, like they're actually doing this, or like A Magnificent Life. I could see something like that, or one of those kind of movies taking the sixth slot, and we're just like, what the hell, why, how did that, what, and it won't even translate to Oscars. That could happen. That very much could happen. I'm just going to play it safe though, and I'm probably going to get it all wrong, but I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to say that the number 6 slot is going to go to In Your Dreams. And in my dreams, would I actually get all these right? Bad pun. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with for my 6 here. For picture non-English language. Now, this is interesting because, oh, and I did want to bring up before we move on to the next category, Neja 2 is dead. Neja 2 is dead. I'm sorry. Like, it's just the fact that it didn't make, that it isn't even eligible for the Academy Awards. Like, they released the whole list of films that are eligible in animated, documentary, and international, and it wasn't, and it didn't make that list at all. And then the fact that it missed the Critics' Choice Awards, I just think that movie is dead in the water. Golden Globes, because of how international they are, could revitalize that. Maybe Neja 2 pops up here at the Globes, but we already know it's not going to get the Oscar. No, so I just don't see it translating anything. I think this thing A24 just dropped the ball in this movie. It did extremely well overseas in China, but once A24 acquired it, they just dropped the ball on it, didn't market it, didn't do anything with this movie, and they're just not talking about it right now. So I just think it's kind of dead. But he says, Neja 2 in IMAX 3D was one of the most incredible theatrical experiences of my life. Would love a nod. That would be great, but I just don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. And then wonder if Neja 2 could get into box office achievement. Very much could. I'm not predicting the box office achievement category. I might run it down tomorrow morning right before I do the stream. But in the sense of this video, because I just do not care about the box office achievement category at all, I am not predicting it in the sense of this video, at least tonight. So for Best Picture non-English language film, I have the film that out front to win right now is the one I actually watched tonight, which is Sentimental Value. Incredible movie that is going to be in my top 10 of the year. I'm not going to say where, but whenever y'all see the end of the year video, you will see where it's at. But yeah, very beautiful movie. And I have that out front winning. And then I have a number 2. It was just an accident. It was not just an accident at how well this movie has been doing. Like, from reviews, from awards buzz, I think that this is definitely a contender in Best Picture alongside Sentimental Value. So it's definitely between those two for the win, I think. Then after that, I have The Secret Agent, which is also getting a lot of buzz. Wagner Moura might win the Globe for drama actor. So, and I think he's locked for the Oscars as well to at least be nominated. So I think that's a very strong chance that The Secret Agent gets into non-English language film. So that's why I'm predicting it there. Number 3. Number 4, I have no other choice. I have no other choice but to say that this needs to get in, guys. Make it happen. Park Chan-wook deserves this, guys. He absolutely deserves this. And it's just such a masterful film. Like, it's so good. Like, it just, if it doesn't get anywhere, I'm just gonna be so pissed. Like, so pissed off tomorrow about that. But in the 5th slot, and I know this is taking a risk because it's 5 neon films. 5 neon films. That's insane, bro. But I'm gonna just say that Surratt, to me, just seems to be picking up a lot of steam. Another film that might wind up making my top 10 films of the year as well. An amazing theatrical experience, an amazing film that just blew me away. And I just think that this feels like a very much a new Globesy type of film. So I could see them going all out for Surratt. So that's why I have Surratt at number 5. And then it gets interesting for the 6th slot because I know I'm going to be wrong in this category probably, but it's just a toss up between what gets that final slot for Best International Feature. We have The Voice of Hind Rajab, which is a Palestinian movie that I've been hearing nothing but incredible things about. Wish I could see it, but I don't have a screener right now for it. But man, I cannot wait for that because all the reviews are stellar. The Letterboxd score is like insane. So very, very excited to see that one. Then we have Sound of Falling, which is from Mubi and has like a 92 on Metacritic. It's getting a lot of really great buzz. It feels very Globesy of a pick in terms of the new Globes. It feels very much like The Girl with the Needle or, one of those type of movies. So I feel like Sound of Falling, which I did request a screener for, hopefully I can get it. I think that one can possibly sneak in there. I don't know if it'll sneak in for the Oscars, but I could see it taking the 6th slot here. Left-Handed Girl, which just came out on Netflix. This is from Taiwan, and this is co-written by Sean Baker. And he re-teams up with the same person who did Takeout. So it's kind of a Takeout reunion. If you guys have ever seen Takeout. If you haven't, check it out. It's a really great film. But Left-Handed Girl, a beautiful movie. I would love to see a nomination here for that. Maybe this will be the first nominations for Nouvelle Vague. I could see Golden Globes going out for this movie because this is a movie about filmmaking. They love classic Hollywood. I could see something like that happening with Nouvelle Vague. We'll have to see. I thought that movie was exceptional. Maybe they'll think the same way. I don't know. Maybe The President's Cake could sneak in there. This is because it is Sony Pictures Classics, and they're really good at getting nominations. And that was a really, really good movie with one of the most disturbing endings I've seen in quite some time. And then Baleen, or Baleen, or however you say it. This movie is interesting. It's been creeping up lately because it got in at the Critics' Choice Awards for Best International Feature, and I believe it even got in at the Independent Spirit Awards for Best International Feature. So all of a sudden, Baleen is showing up, and people were like, what is this? And this is Amazon MGM is the productions behind it. And apparently they are campaigning their asses off for this film and trying to get people to really see Baleen. They're throwing a bunch of FYC screeners out there for people. So I could see a world where Baleen gets in there. But for this video, I'm going to go with Sound of Falling as the last one that I think the Globes will go with as the 6th and final slot because it just feels very much like a film that would go with a slow, methodical, kind of period piece drama, something that sounds very Globesy in my opinion. So I'm gonna stick with Sound of Falling. So rounding out my picks for Best Picture non-English language, we have No Other Choice, Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, Surratt, and Sound of Falling. Moving on to Best Screenplay. So they don't do adapted and they don't do original. This is just Best Screenplay. So that means adapted films and original screenplays are competing for the same prize this time in one category. So at number 1, I actually have Sentimental Value. I think this is one where Joachim Trier could possibly win. I don't think he's going to win director, but I think he could possibly win here. The Globes, I think, are just going to go all out for sentimental value. That is a movie that feels right up their alley, and it's a beautiful movie, and also has to do with filmmaking as well. So I just think that they're really going to love sentimental value. So I have that at number 1 right now. Then I got Sinners, Ryan Coogler. I think he's going to get in. I think, this is just such a well-written, well-crafted movie. I just think you can't ignore Sinners and the impact it's made. Then I have One Battle After Another. I just think that this is an easy lock. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. He easily could even win this category, I think. So it's those top 3, or either one of them I could see winning. That top 3 is between Joachim Trier, Ryan Coogler, Paul Thomas Anderson. Or I could also see the 4th one winning as well, which is Jafar Panahi. I have Jafar Panahi for It Was Just an Accident, and he won the Gotham Award for Best Screenplay. So I could see a world where he sneaks in and takes the victory here for Best Screenplay at the Golden Globes. I think if I remember correctly, like, people were not expecting Anatomy of a Fall to win Best Screenplay at the Golden Globe Awards. And then it surprised everyone and got in. So I think and it got not only it got the win, I should say, for the Globes, which shocked everyone. So, and that translated to the Oscars later. So I think the same could happen for Jafar Panahi. I think we have to look out for It Was Just an Accident here. I really think we do need to look out there for that. But now it starts to get tricky, because after that 4, it could go any direction. You have Hamnet from Chloe Zhao. You've got Marty Supreme from Josh Safdie. You've got No Other Choice from Park Chan-wook. Jay Kelly, which is Noah Baumbach's script. The Secret Agent was a very beautifully written movie, very dialogue heavy. So I could see that getting in a screenplay. You have Begonia from Will Tracy. I think that screenplay was exceptional. Train Dreams could maybe sneak in there for screenplay. I could see Sorry Baby, if they really love that movie, sneaking in here at the Globes for screenplay. Maybe Weapons, maybe Wake Up Dead Man. It's very interesting. But my 5th slot I'm going with Hamnet. I just think that this is basically the front runner for drama film, I think. So because of that, I think that you have to nominate it for Best Screenplay. If it doesn't get into Best Screenplay, I'll be more concerned about its chance Best Drama at the Globes. But I'm feeling very confident it gets in here. Now it's just up to that 6th slot, which I'm between. Honestly, I'm between like 5 right now. I'm between Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, Begonia, Jay Kelly, and The Secret Agent. I think either one of those 5 could sneak in there, and I wouldn't complain. I think that all those scripts are really great, but I just think the Globes are going to lean towards No Other Choice. I'm going with that. I want to go with Marty Supreme. Maybe I could change it to Marty Supreme, but I don't know. You know what? I'll go Marty. So I will go Marty Supreme for right now, because I don't know if they will nominate. That would be like 3 out of 6. That would be half the category international films, and they are going to go very international. But I think they're also still going to nominate enough American films here too. So I think Marty Supreme. Well, I haven't seen the film yet. From what I hear, the script is really good. So I think that could get the final slot for Best Screenplay. So my picks here at the Globes for Best Screenplay are Sentimental Value, Sinners, One Battle After Another, It Was Just an Accident, Hamnet, and Marty Supreme. Those are the ones that I have getting best screenplay at the Golden Globes. We have another comment here from EDM that says Billing could get in because of Amazon campaign, which campaign itself to win Argentina in 1985, which beat All Quiet, RRR, and Decision to Leave. That's so true. Argentina in 1985 really took the world by storm, and surprised everyone. So I think Baleen could do the same thing. We shall see. I'm really looking out for that. If it gets in here at the Globes, I'm definitely going to start predicting it for the Oscar, because that means it would have gotten into 3 huge award shows. So I think that we really have to be on the lookout for it. And then if Begonia was written by Sorkin, it would be a lock at number 6. I think so for sure. Then we have Globes love dialogue and narration. Green Book won screenplay. It's true. They do love narration. That's why I actually have Sentimental Value taking the top prize, because without giving too much away, the film does have narration in it. And I think that can help Sentimental Value's favor to win screenplay, at least at the Globes. I don't think it will win at the Oscar, but for the Globes, I think it could win because of that. So that is 6 I have there. Moving on to acting. We have supporting actor, and this one is interesting. I have the safe picks here, but I don't know. They might surprise. They might surprise. We'll see. But of course, I got Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value, who is absolutely exceptional in the film. After having seen it now, I can attest that he is such a phenomenal actor. He's such a phenomenal performance, and he would be my personal pick to win this prize, because I think he is overdue. I think he deserves the win, and I actually have him winning. I have him at number 1, at least at the Globes. Now, at the Oscars, I don't know yet. I have to see how Benicio does, how Sean Penn does at other award shows. They might be able to upset him and take the Oscar. But at least for right now, at the Globes, I think Stellan Skarsgård has very much that Globesy narrative. I think he is in that kind of international kind of Globesy film that they would love. So that's why I'm going to go with him at number 1. Number 2, I have Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. I think he's definitely going to get in here. He got a Critics' Choice. He's going to get in here. He's a phenomenal performance. People are still talking about how great he is. So I just think you can't deny that. Then I have Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, who is really starting to pick up steam. He's won a few Critics' Prizes already. And I think that, he could potentially be an upset for the Oscar, because people really love this character of Sensei. Like, he seems to be kind of next to Bob, like the fan favorite character from everyone. So I could see that happening. Then at number 4, I have Adam Sandler getting in for Jay Kelly. I think in terms of Globes, and I think in terms of the SAG, maybe he already got in Critics' Choice. I think Adam Sandler will get in a few places, and then he's going to probably miss the Oscar or something like that. We're all going to say oh, finally, Adam Sandler will finally get his due, and I think he's going to just barely miss the Oscar. I think because they only have 5 slots. This is 6 slots. And I think he's going to miss. But I think here, he's pretty safe in. So, Adam Sandler gets in for Jay Kelly. Then I have Paul Mescal for Hamnet, who is really good in the film. If it was up to me, I would say the kid in Hamnet. I think that would be a worthy Jacoby Jupe. I think that would be a worthy performance personally. But I think they're going to lean Paul Mescal. And then the 6th slot, this is where it gets tough because, I mean, do I want to play it safe and just predict the same as what the Critics' Choice was? Or do I want to do some surprise like maybe a Josh O'Connor, maybe a William H. Macy for Train Dreams if they go all out for Train Dreams? Maybe that would be a surprise. Maybe Andrew Scott for Blue Moon. They nominated Andrew Scott for All of Us Strangers. So they love Andrew Scott at this award show. And maybe he'll get in for Blue Moon. Maybe this will finally be his push that he needs here. Then Miles Caton for Sinners and Delroy Lindo for Sinners. Maybe they could sneak in there. Who knows? I don't know. But for right now, I am playing it safe, and I'm going to go Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. Now, maybe it's risky trying to play it safe because the Globes love to surprise, but right now, I'm playing it safe, and I'm picking those 6. So, rounding it out, we have Stellan Skarsgård, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Adam Sandler, Paul Mescal, and Jacob Elordi as my 6. EDM asks, did you find Stellan to be lead of sentimental value like I did? I actually personally kind of did find him as like a co-lead. You know, I mean, it's Renate's story, but I feel like he's just as big in the film as her. Like, there's a chunk of the movie where she's not even in it, and it focuses on Stellan's character at one point. So I do think he is kind of co-lead, and I think that will actually help his narrative. I think that will help his narrative to potential win because a lot of times these co-lead supporting performances are what win the Oscar. So I think it'll help his narrative for sure. Supporting actress. So I'll get the big one out of the way already. Ariana Grande. She's getting it. If she misses here, then that's a very, very bad sign for Wicked. But Ariana Grande, very safe, I think. So I'm number 1. She might win. She might not, because Tiana Taylor is also looking really strong right now. I can see Tiana Taylor winning the Globe if they go all out for one battle after another. I think that's definitely a very strong possibility. But I'm just not ready yet to say Tiana Taylor is for sure winning the Globe. I have to see how much they like that movie first before I can officially state that. Then I have Amy Madigan for Weapons. It's just, she's undeniable, guys. She is sweeping in terms of nominations everywhere. She's even been winning a few places. She's already won a few critics' prizes. So I think we really got to be on the lookout because Amy Madigan is about to show up and get her second Oscar nomination. And that's going to be really exciting. So I have her in there. I have Inga Ipsdotter Lilius, who is absolutely phenomenal in sentimental value. She's probably my favorite of all these performances that I'm talking about right now. I think that she is absolutely just very subtle, but very emotional, and a performance that really resonated with me and just had me in tears by the end. So very beautiful performance. I think she's definitely going to get in. And then I have Elle Fanning getting in here. So I think both the sentimental value people are going to get in. I'm not 100% confident in that. I think that maybe one of the sentimental value people could miss for someone else. But just looking at the rest of the lineup, I'm just like, who else would replace him? Like Miriam Afshari for It Was Just an Accident, maybe? Potentially. I don't know. But or Wunmi Masaku, who has been showing up places. I could see her sneaking in there, getting in the 6th there. For my sixth slot, though, I'm going to go with Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, if Gwyneth Paltrow misses here, then I think it's going to be Wunmi Masaku, and I think we got to start considering snubbing Gwyneth Paltrow at the Oscars, because I just think this is where at least either her or Odessa Zion for My Supreme needs to show up. I think one of the two need to show up for that film to get any acting buzz come Oscar time. But I think this is going to be the start of that, because none of them got in at Critics' Choice, which was kind of scary. But here, I think that she is safe. But again, Wunmi Masaku won the Gotham, beating out men and women, because they do Best Supporting Performance. So that's men and women that Wunmi Masaku beat. And then Wunmi Masaku just got the Critics' Choice nomination, which I called. I'll take credit for that. Thank you very much. And I'm just seeing that maybe she gets in for Sinners. Like I could see her sneaking in here at the Globes, but right now I'm gonna stick with Gwyneth Paltrow. If I decide to change it tomorrow morning on stream, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I'm going to go with that 6. So Ariana Grande, Gwyneth Paltrow, Elle Fanning, Inga Ipsdotter, Tiana Taylor, and Amy Madigan are all my 6 that I have for Best Supporting Actress. Then I've got the lead acting categories. So Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy, I've got Timothée Chalamet winning. I think he's easily gonna take this spot here. I don't know if he'll win the Oscar, because Mora is really starting to show up places. But in terms of the Globe, I think he's definitely winning this category for musical or comedy actor. Then you have Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another. I think he's going to get in everywhere. I think he's a safe bet. So I have him getting in here. And then there's Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, which they have announced is going to be campaigned in comedy. So I think, you got in for Critics' Choice. You got in at the Gothams. I think he's going to show up here. And I think he's just going to kind of show up in all these other award shows until the Oscars time. And I think he'll show up at the Oscars as well. So he's really great. This is a career best performance from Ethan Hawke. So I'm going to definitely go with Ethan Hawke at number 3. Then I have Jesse Plemons for Begonia, because I have Begonia in Best Comedy. So I think that Jesse Plemons, who also delivers like a career best performance in this movie, I think that he is going to come along with that package, and rightfully so. Then I have Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice, who just blew me away in that movie. He was so good. And he also is a well-renowned international actor, so I could see him taking that spot and being nominated here. And then rounding out my 6, I have George Clooney for Jay Kelly. I think he is not going to get the Oscar now. He missed the Critics' Choice. But I think in terms of musical or comedy actor, I think he's a safe bet. He's a big star. They're going to want to see him at the red carpet. So I think you're going to get Jay Kelly in there. The only person I see making a threat in this category is Brendan Fraser for Rental Family, which I did majorly consider, because he won for The Whale. The Golden Globes have been trying to do like a apology thing for Brendan Fraser for what they did and everything. So I could see them trying to go that route with Brendan Fraser. I'm just not confident that film is going to do super strongly. And then, of course, Daniel Craig for Dead Man is maybe an outside shot as well. But for now, I'm going to stick with that with that same 6 that I have, which is Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ethan Hawke, Jesse Plemons, Lee Byung-hun, and George Clooney. Then I have actor drama, which is Widener Moore. I have him out to win. And then at 2, I have Michael B. Jordan. He's just starting to show up places. I think he's just really strong and is definitely going to show up here. And I have George Washington. Those 3 feel locked. Then beyond that, that's where this gets interesting. So this is going to make for an interesting discussion. So next up on this list, I have Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere. Now, this movie is basically dead. This is dead in the water. However, because they split up Best Actor Drama and then Best Actor Comedy Musical, I do think in the drama category, Jeremy Allen White could sneak in here for Best Actor Drama still. We'll see. He is snubbable for somebody else, but I think for now, I have him in. Dwayne Johnson for The Smashing Machine. He's a big star. He's presented at the Globe several times. They really like him. I think that he could get in for this movie, The Smashing Machine, which was a really great performance, just not a great movie, unfortunately. That's where the 6th slot gets interesting, because Daniel Day-Lewis, he is an all-timer, one of the GOATs. He came back this year with Anemone, which was very boring, and a lot of people didn't really care for it. So the question is he going to be nominated for film people didn't care for? Maybe did the Globes even watch this movie? Makes you wonder. I don't really know, but he is Daniel Day-Lewis, so he may get in for just name recognition alone. Then you have Oscar Isaac in Frankenstein, which if Frankenstein is going to do as well as I think it's going to do, he could come along with it because he's just part of that package, and that could be the reason why he gets nominated. Then you have Will Arnett for Is This Thing On, which is apparently campaigning in drama, which is kind of odd. I've seen the film. I think it should campaign in comedy because it's a film about stand-up comedy, and it's actually more funny than it is dramatic, in my opinion. So I'm going to say that was kind of an odd choice, but Will Arnett does have some great dramatic chops in this movie, and I was really impressed with his performance. So I could see him maybe sneaking in there. But I want to throw a name out there. And Sony Pictures Classics is extremely good at getting actors nominated, especially at the Globes. I'm going to go with Russell Crowe for Nuremberg. This is the best Russell Crowe has been in ages. He has not been this good in a long time. And I think in terms of Globes, I don't think it'll happen at the Oscars, but in terms of Globes, I think that will be celebrated and that you will see Russell Crowe get a nomination for Nuremberg. He was really, really exceptional in this movie. So, rounding out my 6, I've got Widener Moore, The Secret Agent, Michael Sinners, Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams, Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere. I've got Dwayne Johnson for Smashing Machine, and then Russell Crowe for Nuremberg. So that is what I'm picking. We have EDM that says maybe Will Arnett is this thing on pulls off a Pamela Anderson showgirl, plus they get to invite Bradley Cooper too. That is very true. No, that's a strong possibility. I also didn't mention too, Is This Thing On could upset in screenplay, because it's a very righty kind of movie. So I could see that getting in there as well too, in a screenplay. And then he also talks about Hugh Jackman. Song Song Blue could be number 6 for comedy musical actor. Celebrity who cries in the movie and also sings. They want to have him there. Very good point. I have Song Song Blue getting in at another category though. So Hugh Jackman could still get in. Could still show up at the ceremony. But I have him getting in, or have the movie getting in somewhere else. And I'm about to get to that actually right now. But actress in a comedy or musical. Number 1, Rose Byrne. She is honestly showing herself as the biggest threat that Jessie Buckley has right now. I think Jessie Buckley is still out front to win the Oscar, but if anyone is going to upset now, it is going to be Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. She's been winning a bunch of critics' prizes. I think she just won a critics' prize tonight or something like that and beat Jessie Buckley out for it. So I think she is starting to kind of creep in there, and we really got to start considering Rose Byrne as a possible upset. But at least here, I have her winning. Then I have Emma Stone at number 2 because she's Emma Stone. She's basically like the new Meryl Streep. If Emma Stone's in a movie, delivers a fantastic performance, you nominate her. That's just what happens. Then I have Amanda Seyfried at 3 for that powerhouse performance she did. That was just absolutely exceptional and just blew me away. Really phenomenal performance. Then I have a number 4, Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another, who just completely was a revelation, just completely showed us just what she's capable of, and a phenomenal performance. I do have Cynthia Erivo getting in here for Wicked for Good. I think, she's in risky territory for the Oscar now after missing the Critics' Choice Award nomination. But here, because of the split categories, I think she's still safe. Next, I've got Kate Hudson. I do have her in for Song Song Blue. I think that, she was nominated for Almost Famous, so they really like Kate Hudson because they not only nominated her for Song Song Blue, but Old Globes nominated Kate Hudson for Music. That god-awful Sia-directed movie. Do you remember that movie, guys? It was god-awful, but they nominated Kate Hudson for it. So they really like Kate Hudson a lot. And because of that, I think she is going to get in. And I'm really interested in seeing this movie and seeing like how if it's good, if it's not, I don't know yet. But so I'm going completely off blind faith here because I've not seen the movie. But Kate Hudson just seems like that pick here. It's that comeback for her. Also, I want to talk about this. So apparently, I can't find any info online about it. But apparently there's rumors that Eva Victor has been campaigning Sorry Baby for Best Drama at the Globes. I don't know if that's 100% true. I'm trying to do research for it. But if that's true, then Eva Victor wouldn't show up here. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence with her right now. And I just don't think she'll get in for drama. So it'll be kind of interesting where that film ends up. But he says Eva Victor for Sorry Baby could be the passion pick, like the actress from Fallen Leaves 2 years ago. And I hope you're right, because Eva Victor is incredible in Sorry Baby. Incredible. Absolutely deserves a nomination here. I thought it was so weird. At the Independent Spirit Awards, Naomi Ackie got nominated for Sorry Baby, but then Eva Victor literally gets in for picture, for a screenplay, and for director. But then they don't nominate Eva Victor for lead performance at the Independent Spirit Awards. That just seemed a bit odd to me. I don't get that. But Hopefully she gets in here, though. That would be great. So next we have actress drama. Oh, well, first off, let me round out my picks for actress musical comedy. So I have Rose Byrne, Emma Stone, Amanda Seyfried, Jason Finney, Cynthia Erivo, and Kate Hudson. Those are my 6. Then now on to actress drama. Jessie Buckley, number 1. Easy. No, don't even have to talk about that much anymore. That's just happening. Okay. So now it's just about who is basically second to her, which is, to me, number 2, I have Renee Rinseva, who is just so good in sentimental values. She is absolutely incredible. Very emotional performance, beautifully subtle performance. So I'm going to go with her, number 2. Then at number 3, I have Jennifer Lawrence in Die My Love, delivering maybe her best performance of her career, at least her best performance in a long time. So I don't think she's going to get at the Oscars, unfortunately. But I do think Jennifer Lawrence, this will be the first time we see her show up at any of these major award shows. We'll be here at the Globes. Then I have Tessa Thompson for Hedda. I really wish Amazon and MGM would have pushed this film harder because she's really good. The movie is actually surprisingly really good too. I don't know why they just thought this movie just wasn't anything. Like, I felt like if they would have pushed this harder, you could have even seen Tessa Thompson in Oscar talk consideration. But because they didn't, I feel like Globes is basically her only real bet here, you know. Then at number 5, I have Jodie Foster for A Private Life. I know what you are saying. What the hell? Why do you have Jodie Foster? Really? Because she's Jodie Foster. She gets in at the Globes every time she's in a movie. Literally since she's been a kid, she's been getting in at the Globes. So she's just absolutely guaranteed a spot here, basically, with her name on it. So I'm 100% confident Jodie Foster will get in. Then this is interesting because I could see the 6th slot. Maybe they won't care about the controversy. Maybe Sydney Sweeney will get in for a transformative performance in Christie. Maybe Julia Garner gets in for Weapons, and then you get more Weapons kind of love there. Maybe Laura Dern gets in for Is This Thing On? I could see that happening, honestly. She is kind of the more dramatic nature of that movie. And I think that her performance was really solid. It was a really good performance. But I'm going with Julia Roberts for After the Hunt. Now, I get it. After the Hunt's not a good movie. And I do not think it's going to get any Oscar noms. Honestly, the only people in drama actress that I think are going to get nominated for the Oscars are Jessie Buckley and Renee Rinsva. Everyone else, I just think, are Globe picks and only Globe picks. So I just think that there's something about Julia Roberts. You know, she's a big star. She's love her. They want her to be there at the Golden Globes. So I can see that happening. On the outside looking in, though, if Sorry Baby is getting into drama actress, I could see Eva Victor getting into this category. If it's campaigning and drama, I can see her getting in. Because, again, not a whole lot of competition here. There are snubbable people here. So I could see her getting in. But I just think she would have an easier time getting in if it was in comedy. And then it looks like he has Julia Garner over Roberts. Okay. Oh, that's true. She does have 3 noms / a win for Ozark. That is very true. So who knows? She could sneak in. But for right now, I'm feeling safe with my Julia Roberts pick. So rounding out my 6, I've got Jessie Buckley, Hamnet, Renee Rensfa for Sentimental Value, Jennifer Lawrence, Diamond Love, Tessa Thompson, Hedda, Jodie Foster, A Private Life, and then Julia Roberts for After the Hunt. Now on to director. And in director, I've got One Battle After Another, PTA, my boy, finally going to get up on stage and win his first Golden Globe. Then I got Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier. I think he's going to get in here. I think, again, they're going to really love Sentimental Value, go all out for that movie. Then I've got Sinners. I think Ryan Coogler just is too strong of a name. I think he's definitely going to get in here. I have Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. If I have that winning drama, then I think that Chloe Zhao is going to come along with that. I have Jafar Panahi for It Was Just an Accident. I think the movie is way too strong to leave off this list. And now this is where it gets interesting. Because this sixth slot is tough for director. I could see him going Marty Supreme, for Josh Safdie at the Globes. I could see Guillermo del Toro, if Frankenstein really, really delivers. I could see the Globes going Guillermo del Toro. I could really see the Globes going with Kleber Mendonça Philo. I hope I said your name right. For The Secret Agent. Beautiful looking movie. The colors, the direction, everything. Very, very well done. So I could honestly see him pulling that off. Yorgos Lanthimos I could see upsetting here. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with Park Chan-wook. I think Park Chan-wook will get his nomination here at the Globes, and it'll be celebrated, and people will be super excited, and I hope it can translate to Oscars. We shall see. But those are the six I'm going for, is One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, and No Other Choice. Then we have a comment here that says, would Kleber for The Secret Agent get in because Brazil voting bloc plus all we imagine is light kind of numb? That's a good point. God. You know what? The Brazil voting bloc really makes me think The Secret Agent could get in. You just changed my mind. I think I'm going to go Secret Agent and director just because, the Brazil voting bloc is very, very large. So I think that's why that Fernando Torres won the Globe. So I think that's a strong possibility, and why Wyatt Nomura will also win. But we'll get to talk about The Secret Agent again here very soon, potentially. But Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Now this is very interesting as well, but out front to win, One Battle After Another. Easy. Nothing's going to take that away from it. Then I have Marty Supreme out at number 2 because, Timothy's winning, so it could potentially upset. Then I got Begonia here. I just think, with the Critics' Choice Award nom and with AFI and all this, I just think Begonia is really showing up places. And I think the Globes is going to show up, and then I think it's going to miss the Oscars once people have time to see Avatar. I think Avatar is just going to replace Begonia. But I think that Begonia is going to get in at least most places. Then I have Wicked for Good here. I think it's going to get in because it is a musical, and I just think it's very strong. Then I have Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly, just to me, seems like it's very strong now with the Critics' Choice nomination, with AFI, with all these other nominations he's been getting. I just think Jay Kelly seems like it's a strong pick, And then in the final slot, I have no other choice but to say no other choice. I do think it's going to get in here for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy. While no other choice is going to miss a few places at the Globes, I hope not. I hope it gets in a lot tomorrow. I would be giddy. But I think it's going to miss a few places. And one of the places I think it is going to get in is Best Picture. So I'm feeling confident about this. So rounding out my 6 for Best Picture, Comedy, and Musical, I have One Battle After Another, Mari Supreme, Begonia, Wicked for Good, Jay Kelly, and No Other Choice. So, and then on the outside looking, I do have Testament of Van Lee. It says, because I haven't managed to stay free to winning. Oh, shit, you have her winning. Interesting. Cool. For Testament of Van Lee, how are you getting into musical comedy? I seriously am considering that. I literally had it in earlier today. Just think Jay Kelly is on a rise right now, but I think New Globes could love Testament of Van Lee even more than Jay Kelly. So we shall see. But I'm feeling, especially because it's musical / comedy, and Testament of Van Lee is a musical. I can see him doing that. I can see him doing that for sure. Especially if they're getting a song in there and an actress nom, I can see that for sure. We'll have to see what they go with. I might change it out tomorrow morning. We'll see. Then Best Picture Drama. This is the big one. I got Hamnet at number 1, out front to win. Number 2, I've got Sentimental Value. I just think that they are going to love this movie, and I think it's going to be the runner-up for picture at the Golden Globes. Sinners, they would be absolute sinners if they didn't nominate this movie. I would be shocked. So I have that getting in. Frankenstein, I just think it's too strong at this point. It's definitely going to get in. It Was Just an Accident. Those 5 I feel extremely confident in. I think those are locked. Now it just becomes a little bit of a challenge. But it only becomes a challenge between 3 movies. Because if enough of them have seen Avatar Fire and Ash, maybe Avatar sneaks in. If enough of them have seen it, and it could show up here as the first televised award show, I could see him pulling that. But then also because of the Brazilian voting body, The Secret Agent getting into Best Picture is not outside the realm of possibility. I think that is extremely possible. That Secret Agent can get in to Best Picture at the Golden Globes. And if it does, would that change things? But for my 6th slot, I just see Train Dreams on this rise right now. I just see it on a rising up trajectory. It got in for picture at the Independent Spirit Awards. It got in at AFI. It got in, I think, to National Board Review. And it got into Critics' Choice. So it's been getting in basically everywhere it needs to right now. And it got in at Gotham's, I think, too. So it's getting in everywhere. And I think it'll get in at the Globes. And then, I don't know 100% if it's getting in for the Oscar. But I have it at number 11 right now for the Oscar. So I think Train Dreams, because of this trajectory it has, I really see it doing strong here. I have it at the number 6 slot for Best Picture Drama. So rounding out my 6 for Best Picture Drama, I have Hamnet, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Frankenstein, It was just an accident and train dreams. Guys, that is it for my Golden Globe predictions for the 2026 Golden Globe Awards. I will be live at 8 o'clock right here to react to the Golden Globe nominations for you guys. Bright and early. We'll be dead ass tired, but hopefully feel awake enough because of the nominations. But let me know down below, guys. What are some of your predictions? Would love to hear your thoughts. I'll read all your predictions off. And then also, could House of Dynamite pull off September 5? No, because September 5 at least got good reviews. House of Dynamite is getting really bad reviews. Hey, not a good movie. So, but yeah. So, I am very, very excited. We're kicking off award season, guys. Cannot wait to see what happens with the Golden Globe nominations. One of my, I never thought I'd ever say this, but one of my most anticipated award shows now. So we will see what happens tomorrow, or technically this morning, because it's 1:33 here on the East Coast. But I will see you all for the reaction video. Until then, stay classy, my friends, and keep on watching those movies.